Have you ever stopped to think about what prayer actually is? What is the function of prayer? I don't mean the theology or the religious aspects of it. I'm talking about what it actually does to your mind, what it actually does to your brain, what it does to your anxiety levels, and what it does to your perspective, how you see things. I've come to realize that the fundamental function of prayer is not about seeking intervention. It's more about orienting ourselves with the world. It's a tool that we use. It's an internal tool for crisis management. That's the way to put it. It's an internal tool for crisis management. So think about the last time that you felt overwhelmed. You felt anxious. You felt like the walls are closing in. And you lose perspective when you're in that state. It's what psychologists call catastrophizing. It's a big word, catastrophizing. So, things are much bigger, much more intense than they actually might be. Now, think about the tools that we use for managing this crisis. Think about meditation and think about therapy. Those are two tools that we tend to use in the modern day and age to manage this crisis of the mind, of the heart, of the soul. Now, when we look at meditation uses what is called attention training. So what that means is that it teaches you to observe your thoughts, to look within yourself and look at the thought, what am I thinking about? And you observe them. And you observe them without judgment. And therapy uses something called cognitive restructuring. So cognitive restructuring teaches you to challenge that thought. So you observe the thought and now you challenge that thought. Now prayer does both of these things simultaneously at the same time. And it does this through a powerful act called a shift in locus control. What does it mean? Now, that simple act of saying that this is too big for me and I'm handing it over to you during that prayer, you are externalizing control. So you remove that control from the self. And what that does to your nervous system is that it tends to relieve that pressure, tends to alleviate the anxiety that you're feeling. Now, that simple act, and to sort of demonstrate this, my mom taught me this in a sort of perfect way, and I keep going back to this. So whenever I was in a jam, she'd tell me to recite this prayer. It's a Catholic prayer, and the prayer goes like this. O most sacred heart of Jesus, I place all my trust unto you. And whenever I'd recite that prayer, I'd feel that sense of relief. And typically what would happen is that she'd come back and she'd talk to me about that issue, and she'd always end that conversation with, the world is not going to end. She'd always use that phrase. And after that, she'd get me a milkshake or a juice or something, and that pressure would completely fade away. That critically, what that prayer allowed me to do was to surrender that burden. That phrase that she used, that the world is not going to end, it forced that perspective back, change perspective of how I was looking at that situation. And it's a two-step intervention of emotional surrender and cognitive clarity. Emotional surrender, cognitive clarity. So if you even look at classical prayers, the perfect example is the Lord's Prayer. If you look at the Lord's Prayer, it's also structured in this way. The Lord's Prayer doesn't start with a personal gain or a personal favor. It starts with the big picture. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Now this tends to establish a fixed and transcendent anchor against which all our personal chaos can be measured against. Yeah, so it sort of, again, shifts your perspective if you're looking at it critically. And then it moves on to surrender. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And this is what the people that study this call a radical acceptance. So acknowledging that you're not the universe's CEO. So only after that framework is set does it move to the immediate, okay, to the present. Give us today our daily bread. Yeah, so it's not for next year's fortune, it's not for tomorrow, it's not, it's not in the future, it's not in the past. It's grounding you in the present, right? And it's structured to take you from a panicked focus of the self. So whatever it is that is overwhelming you, it is structured in a way to remove you from that, to change your perspective and to manage your present reality. So whether you use a mantra or a therapist prompt or a prayer that's thousands of years old, the function is still the same. It's a tool to help you restore perspective. It's a conscious and structured way to tell yourself that the world is bigger than the problem you're currently facing. And, it's a tool to help you reframe your current situation, to bring back balance to your life. And, it's a dialogue with the divine to help you re-engineer your own spirit. So, yeah, those are some thoughts that I had on what the function of prayer is. So thank you for indulging. Share your perspectives as well. Love to hear what all of you think about this.